this is Jecht from JechtSpencer.com, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for you. Today's book is Fundamentals of Female Dynamics, a Practical Handbook to Attracting Women by Micheal Knight. And I enjoyed this book. You can usually tell how decent a self-improvement or self-development book actually is based on the amount of notes that you write. And I wrote a ton of notes for this particular book, so it was decent. What about this book do I actually like? Well, in 10 chapters, he breaks down the fundamental principles of what it actually takes to attract a woman. And this isn't necessarily a method. It's not about trying to act as if you're an attractive man. Instead, it is about becoming an attractive man, which is a key fundamental difference. With that said, what do I give this book? 4 stars. So let's get into it. There's 3 particular paradigms we're going to talk about here. The first one is that attraction is not a choice. Attraction is an emotional decision, not a logical one. When you see a beautiful girl, you scan her up and down. At that very moment, like a split second, you either have attraction for her or you don't have attraction for her. Women also have a switch, but it's not a light switch, it's a volume knob. In that, when a guy comes up and he's confident, he's charismatic, he's dominant, he projects, he has intent, he has good eye contact, voice projection, vocal tonality. This is what gets a girl wet. Number 2, being able to attract a woman is a skill set. It's something that can be learned. In order to get a high level of social intelligence, you're going to need to go through a myriad and myriad of interactions with women. And in order to see the patterns, in order to properly vibe, in order to present yourself in the most charismatic and confident way, it's going to take experience. Because as you get competent at something, you get confident at it. And number 3, failing does not equate to you being a failure. When you first started this, if you're starting from ground zero and you haven't talked to a woman, perhaps even in your entire life, at least from a man to woman standpoint, you are going to fucking suck. You're going to be stuck in your head, you're going to be stifled, you're going to be overthinking everything, and just having the balls to approach is going to feel like you are stabbing yourself in the fucking heart over and over and over and over and over again, until you get to a point where it is completely natural, and you'll wonder how you ever had a problem with this particular point in your life in the first place. There are typically 2 types of mentalities that men have when dealing with attractive women. The first one is scarcity, where they believe that a woman is this hot commodity, this rare unicorn, and that there's not as many women in the world as there are men, even though there's actually more. But the reality is they put these women on these huge pedestals, and they believe they're these superhuman goddesses that they must bow down to, and it ends up creating this huge negative spiral of needy behavior that only helps to drive the woman away. Then there is abundance. These men believe that women are everywhere, easily accessible, and easily plentiful, and something that is just icing on the cake to their life. They don't view them as a huge deal. It's just someone or some people or some women that come into their life gradually as they move with their own path and purpose. Women are not the end goal for them. They are simply icing on the cake. A lot of our hardwiring is actually from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And even though we have technology and satellites and the information superhighway, our brains haven't caught up with the types of rapid technological advancements that we've had in everyday life. So when you are on vacation and you're at that Starbucks or coffee shop and you see that beautiful girl and she's sitting there and she's reading a book, and you grab your coffee and you're about to walk out, she looks up and you lock eye contact with her, she has this huge beaming smile that just says, "Approach me." And what do? You go straight up to her, and the next thing you know, you walk past her and you walk outside. You literally had nothing to lose there. You're on vacation, you're in a coffee shop, you don't know anyone there, and this girl is giving you an open invitation to go up and chat her up. But what you do, you walk by. And why do you think you do that? Approach anxiety. This is built in from basically cavemen times, where if you were to go up to a woman in a tribe and she was to say, no, I'm not interested, there's a great chance that that alpha male of the tribe is going to come in with him and his 2 goons and just start bashing your head in with a rock. Today, you don't really have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about a guy coming out of nowhere and bashing you with a rock. But your brain wants proof, not promises. So you have to continually put yourself into those scenarios, even though your brain is telling you no, 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 no. There are typically 2 frames of reference in which guys go to approach and attract women. The first one being the logical side of the mind. This is not the way to go. Trying to convince a woman that you are a good fit for her is not the ideal scenario. Trying to show off how amazing you are, your status, your job, how much money you have, what car you have. This just screams neediness. It screams that, oh, I have to compensate with all these different things and barter for your attention because myself, my personality, my own self-worth, and my own self-esteem isn't enough to attract you. You have to get rid of this way of thinking. Never self-qualify. Never self-doubt. Never try to sell yourself to the girl. Instead, flip the script and come in with an emotional way of being. The currency in which you attract women is not by money, it's by fun. How much do you add to the interaction? How much positivity? How much energy? How much value are you giving? Are you constantly the person who's radiating good emotions? People want to become a part of that rather than trying to come in with a rapport-seeking way of mind, of logic, of where do you go to school? What's your name? Oh, that's cool. And then you just parrot over and over and over again the standard 12 questions that every fucking guy asks. Shake it up, make it different, be creative, and watch what happens. The next thing we want to address is what he calls the 4 C's of attraction. Number 1, cleanliness. Not too complicated here. Have good hygiene, have clothes that fit, have a decent haircut. If you haven't been going to the gym, start going to the gym. Number 2 is confidence. Have your own purpose beyond women. Women should not be the centerfold of your life. They should be the icing on the cake. Have a path and purpose that goes beyond the feminine ideal. By having this path and purpose, you become more confident because you are grounding yourself in something other than a woman's reaction. You should not care about a woman's reaction to you. You should care about your own level of self-worth, your own level of self-entitlement, and your way you view yourself first. Number 3 is congruence. Most guys are not willing to put their own true personality on the line. Because if they get rejected, then that rejection actually stings because their real personality is the thing that is being attacked. So what most guys do as a defense mechanism is by putting on a mask. They put on a shtick. They put on a fake veneer of their personality. So essentially when they do approach and it doesn't go well, they're saying, oh, well, I wasn't being myself anyway, so I didn't get rejected. That persona was being rejected. Be congruent. Your thoughts, your words, and your actions should all be aligned. Your intent should be solid and stoic and completely like a straight arrow about what you want. Number 4, and the last one, is consistency. Kind of like congruence, you have to be able to be the person that you are 100% of the time. And what women do in order to test this is they congruence test you. They're basically checking to see whether or not you are the man that you are showing yourself to be. Because most guys can go up for a good 30 seconds, 2 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes, and pretend to be this cool, charismatic, fun, awesome guy, but eventually that mask fucking slips. You want to be yourself 100% of the time. So you're not wearing a mask. You don't have to worry about you faking it. Instead, when a woman tests you, you are the man you present yourself to be. And these tests can come in a myriad of forms. Like, she gives you really strong eye contact. Can you hold it there with her and be comfortable? Perhaps she makes a sexual joke about another man that's in presence. You know, oh my God, that wet waiter is so sexy. Do you start clamming up like, oh my God, like she doesn't like me, oh. No. Or perhaps she introduces you to a male friend. Do you suddenly start melting down like, oh my God, this guy's so much stronger than me, I can't do it? No. You have to be grounded in your own reality, your own level of self-worth. If she's testing you, it's because she sees you as a sexual threat. She sees you as someone she could possibly sleep with, but she's not going to just sleep with you based on that first couple minutes. She's going to see and test whether or not you're the man you present yourself to be. So don't take it as an attack. Take it as a good sign, because only a woman that sees you as a man that is worthy of her affection and her desire would bother to test you in the first place. So here's the creme de la creme of the book and the 8 pillars that he breaks down about what actually creates attraction. So here they are. Number 1, I want you to hold eye contact and smile. For a lot of guys, having calm, relaxed eye contact is a key integral part to seducing women. If you cannot hold eye contact with a girl, how the fuck are you supposed to protect her from all the big bad motherfuckers in this world? If you can't even hold your eye contact with a tiny, petite little woman, then how can she expect you to protect her when shit starts going down? Another problem is when guys do make eye contact, they don't even bother to smile. So they end up coming off extremely aggressive, extremely dominant, not in a good way, or extremely creepy. You don't want to have these darting, scary eyes just staring at her. So just relax, keep your eye contact chill, relaxed, look at one of her eyes, do a nice little devil-may-care smile, and chill. Number 2, do not barter for a woman's affection. Don't try to buy her time. Instead, do the opposite. Most guys are trying to buy her drinks, trying to take her out to dinner, trying to take her on trips. You don't want to be one of those guys. You want to be a guy who sees his own self-worth and has the dignity to know that if a girl truly valued him, she wouldn't need his money. Number 3, do not chase or force rapport. Too many guys seek rapport before they actually get through attraction. It's kind of like, imagine walking down the street and all of a sudden some random guy just came up to you and said, "Hey, what's your name?" "Oh, what's your job?" "Oh, cool, what do you do there?" You know, like, why is this guy asking me these questions? Like, who is this guy? Why is he going into rapport before he even knows me? Instead, what I want you to do is come in with your cup full and be someone who is adding energy, adding value into the interaction, rather than seeking it first. You can get to know the girl later, but you have to come in knowing that you are the person that is providing value in the interaction to begin with. Number 4, do not qualify, seek to impress her, or seek out a particular reaction from her. If you have a nice house, if you have a nice car, if you have a giant dick or whatever it is, have that type of information happen organically. Don't try to sell yourself to the girl. This goes back to logic versus emotion. Do not try to be the guy that says, "Oh, look at all my status, look at all my cool shit, look at my watch I have." Fuck that shit. That is not what attracts a woman, and it only comes off as you looking like a complete and total tryhard. Number 5, and this is probably the hardest, be independent of the outcome and non-reactive. You do not have to seek outside of yourself in order to have core confidence. All of that comes from within. For many people, they do not get to this point ever, and they are constantly at the whim of their environment. Be someone that draws their own state from within themselves and pushes it out from the world, rather than being someone who seeks external stimulus to bring their own power into them. Number 6 is provide value. When you come into an interaction, you want to be the man who is lighthearted, fun, spontaneous. You're someone who's the life of the party. You're coming in with your cup already full. You're not asking for anything when you're interacting with women. Rather, you are that strong beacon of overflowing light, overflowing energy, overflowing fun, and just completely just in the moment having an amazing time. Number 7, act honestly. Be true to your intentions. Don't have multiple intentions when you're going to interact with women. Most guys, when they're going in to go talk to a girl, they're not actually thinking, "Oh, I want to get to know this woman." Instead, they're thinking, "Oh, I hope she doesn't reject me," or "Oh, I hope this goes okay." No, you want to have your intent focused on one thing. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, all going in one single direction. When you have multiple intents and you come in, you end up half-stepping. And the reality is that when a girl sees that your intent is not pure, She will only just brush you aside like a fucking pest. And number 8, be unapologetic in your desires as a man. You want to go into the interaction making it man to woman, not friend to friend. It is completely fine. It is completely natural to have a dick, to want to fuck multiple women, to want to have multiple relationships, to find a beautiful girl, to be addicted and love feminine energy. That is totally fucking natural. Do not be shamed by this. There's so many guys that walk through this world because of social conditioning and are shamed because of their sex drive, ashamed that they are a man, ashamed that they feel this way. Do not fucking apologize. Own it. It's your masculine essence. It's what women desire most, and it is what most guys are holding back in themselves. Stop holding back and start letting go. And the last thing I want to touch on here is that you must get experience. You must take massive amounts of action in order to get into that social flow state, in order to actually recognize what works with women and what doesn't. Not just blindly going in, but learning from each and every one of your experiences every time you go and interact with women. Find a venue that's great for you. Go to the big city. Travel 90 minutes, maybe even 2 hours just to go talk to girls. It is 100% worth it. This is a huge part that I see so many guys just leaving at the wayside. They get their health together. They got the six-pack. They got the muscles. They got their wealth together. They're making over 100 G's a year. But they don't have any women in their fucking life. And they think it's something they're born with. It's not. You have to get the experience. Don't get me wrong. I love books. I love theory. I love understanding intergender sexual communication. But nothing comes close than the real thing. Actually going out there, putting your personality on the line, putting your balls on the line. Women want to find a honest, direct man as much as a man wants to find an open and feminine woman. But the only way you're going to learn that level of social acuity is by going out there and actually taking massive amounts of action. That is where the growth comes from. Hopefully you learned something, my friend. Once again, the book is Fundamentals of Female Dynamics, a Practical Handbook to Attracting Women by Micheal Knight. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and or comment. And as always, good fortune to you, my friend. I'm just gonna go. Hey, this is Jecht